Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of your Daily Guides, the series where we break down every new Wuthering Waves character to help you decide who's really worth your pulls. Today we're talking about the arena queen herself, Lupa, the fiery fusion specialist who's shaking up the meta right as Galbrena enters the spotlight. Let's dive straight into why she's more than just a mono fusion buffer and why her weapon might be one of the most underrated pickups this patch. All the timestamps are down in the description if you want to skip ahead to your favorite part, and if you haven't already, make sure to join the Discord. And hey, quick shout out to everyone who's been using my link to grab game packs. Seriously, you guys are amazing and your support means the world. So as a little thank you, I'll be gifting 3 monthly passes to 1 lucky winner, and you get to choose the game. Whether it's Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, or Zenless Zone Zero, the choice is yours. All you have to do is like this video, drop a thoughtful comment with your take on the topic, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. With that said, let's get into it. Lupa's kit is built around fusion amplification. Every part of her rotation feeds into boosting team-wide fusion damage. Her inherent skill Applause of Victory creates a consistent buff that empowers all fusion-type teammates, while her ultimate stacks on top of that with even more fusion multipliers in reduced enemy resistance. What this means in practice is that when you pair her with fusion DPS characters like Changli, Encore, Brant, or Galbrena, your overall team damage doesn't just rise, it skyrockets because she multiplies what they already do best. She's that rare support DPS who doesn't just buff from the sidelines, she actively joins the dance, contributing serious damage while keeping her team's momentum high. Now here's where it gets interesting. With Galbrena joining the roster as a dynamic DPS unit, Lupa becomes even more valuable. Why? Because Galbrena thrives on fast rotations and explosive bursts, and Lupa's buffs fit perfectly into that tempo. Lupa enables Galbrena to hit harder, sustain her combos longer, and keep her uptime at peak efficiency. And unlike other buffers who only specialize in one playstyle, Lupa's fusion resonance allows her to bridge between aggressive burst comps and more sustained tempo-driven teams. In short, she doesn't compete with Galbrena, she completes her. A lot of people label Lupa as mono fusion only, but that's not entirely true. While she obviously shines brightest in fusion-heavy lineups, her buffs are broad enough to empower hybrid compositions too, especially if you're running characters who can leverage off-field fusion damage. You can slot her into mixed teams as a sub-DPS or enabler, and she'll still provide incredible uptime and value. Think of her as a modular amplifier, not just a niche pick. So yes, mono fusion is her stage, but she performs just fine even when the spotlight shifts. Now let's talk about her weapon, the Wildfire Mark. This blade is practically tailor-made for Lupa's kit. It doesn't just boost her personal fusion output, it extends her buff potential and energy flow, which means faster rotations and higher uptime for both her skill and ultimate. When you combine the weapon's passive effects with her natural buff scaling, she becomes a true hybrid, half enabler, half DPS. It's one of those rare signature weapons that actually changes how consistent a character feels. And if you plan to run Lupa long-term, this weapon turns her from great to elite. If you're building around fusion or even plan to run Galbrena or any fusion DPS soon, yes, absolutely. She's not a one-dimensional buffer, she's a flexible sub-DPS who adds depth, speed, and synergy to your roster. And if you can grab her weapon too, it's worth it for the sheer consistency it adds to her gameplay loop. If you're low on pulls, prioritize her over the weapon, but together, they form one of the most complete fusion duos we've ever seen. And that's the full breakdown. Lupa's not just a hype gladiator, she's a meta-defining support who can keep up with the game's strongest DPS units. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know in the comments, are you pulling for Lupa or saving for someone else? Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.